My name is Anna Foley, and here we have Andy and Natalie Goddard. And you both have had such a clear vision of your purpose since, discovering essential oils, and that is to provide healing in every home. Your lives have been blessed financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and you thrive. I know you thrive on helping others to do the same and achieve the same success. Natalie, can we start with your side of the story, of the MetaPWR story? Some of us know that you found essential oils when you were in the throes of motherhood and
Mm.
experiencing some personal darkness, and they brought relief, solace, and answers. What about MetaPWR? Can you take us back to just before you started taking it, and what was life like for you?
I love it. Life was good in so many ways, and I felt healthy and strong, and I felt a lot of that freedom that you were just talking about. Um, so I didn't know that I was missing anything until I began taking MetaPWR. And I remember being on a walk with one of our leaders and a dear friend. And I turned to her and I said, I just started and I tried my first MetaPWR, and I feel like it's like manna from heaven. It is feeding me, it is fueling me in a way that my body has never experienced before. And that is the first way that I experienced MetaPWR. And um, I always I love the oils. They're amazing. And the advantage, that impact to me, that just the witness of that grew and grew, and my journey grew. And pretty soon I had things that I didn't even notice were off before just began disappearing. My pain in my right knee that just showed up whenever it would rain. I would feel this pain ahead of time. Well, that just went away, and I never had that hitch anymore. And it, like, the whole time I've taken MetaPWR, I've just never had that. And then some of my back and shoulder pain that were pretty, they were a part of my life pretty consistently. And it was something that I just thought, that's just who I am. That's how I operate. And that just began to lessen and lessen. And I feel like it was because my body had been waiting for what I was receiving.
Isn't that amazing? And that you could sense it on that very first time you took the collagen. Wow, it's powerful. And you're right, we become so complacent and just used to these aches and pains, but maybe we don't have to be. I've got some beautiful comments here that you guys are looking amazing. You look so young and healthy. You've got the MetaPWR glow. So we want to know all about it. Andy, can you share for you, what was it like getting started with MetaPWR?
Sure. So before MetaPWR, we took our family on a 2-week trip to Europe. Mostly went through Great Britain, all over Scotland, Ireland, and the UK. And it was really, we had a lovely time, but in the process, I put on about 10 pounds. So what is that, 6 kilos? And I was not feeling great. I was having a lot of back pain. Just, I didn't feel myself. So fast forward to probably 2 years later, when doTERRA came out with MetaPWR, and I managed to get that weight off, but we had another 2-week trip to Europe planned, and this time it was to Italy. And those of you who know me know that I love my food, and especially my carbs. And Italy is the capital of carbs. So we did not skip a single opportunity to have gelato, to have pasta,
pizza.
pizza.
It's amazing.
Such good food. And I was nervous that I would have the repeat of my last European experience. But this time we had MetaPWR. And I took collagen every single day. I took the assist before every meal with carbs, which was pretty much every meal. And not only did I keep my weight, I lost 2 pounds. So I was blown away by just how effective MetaPWR is, and I felt amazing. That's probably the biggest difference. That it's not, for me, it's not a weight story. It's a story of vitality. And that's what a healthy metabolic response gives you, is it gives you energy, it gives you good sleep. One thing I've noticed is my quality of sleep has gone up. Natalie and I use the Oura rings, and so we've tracked our sleep before and after MetaPWR. And I don't necessarily get more sleep, but I get better quality sleep. And so my numbers are fantastic, especially for my body just doesn't seem to need a lot of sleep, but the quality of sleep has made a huge difference. So I'm loving MetaPWR. We do not go a day without it. If we run out while we're on a trip, we feel it, we get desperate, we start begging, we're like looking for people locally
in
who
the
haven't.
community might have some if we didn't count right.
Yes. So super grateful for all the tools, especially MetaPWR.
I can imagine you'd be quickly messaging around who's got some spare MetaPWR.
Yes.
We're in Italy.
Totally.
Oh, too good. How did you both make it a habit? Was it an easy process for you?
So Natalie, luckily has helped us use vitamin boxes. And so that's the only way I was able to get in the habit of lifelong vitality. And so it was really as simple as adding the assist to one of those boxes. And then in the morning, we've done intermittent fasting for years, long before MetaPWR. And so for me, it was as simple as attaching the advantage to my, I make a drink in the morning. It's a cacao drink with lots of healthy fats in it. And so it was just as simple as taking the advantage before my morning drink. And so it was really simple for me to just hook it to existing habits. This is the lovely vitamin box that we take it with us everywhere we go. I'm such a lazy person that opening 3 bottles is way too much, but 1 vitamin box is not too much. So thank you, Natalie, for helping me make it happen.
I did the same thing. I feel like, I always want to drink in the morning. That's the first thing that I want to do. And so usually I'll do water right off, and then I'll add my MetaPWR to my next glass and get that in. And yeah, it just became, we already had supplements into our world for breakfast and dinner. And so just having the assist right there made it a part of that routine as well. And then, the oil, the beadlet, and you don't have the gum there in Australia, right?
We're lucky. We're fortunate we can order it as a US order. So yes, we can. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, yes. Well, that part we have really integrated very well because we are the gum lovers. And the capsules of the MetaPWR oil, I love. I'll do those between meals. And like we were just traveling again, and it was a lot of eating, right? And between meals, I was like, okay, I need some cleansing. I need to let go. And it just really helped so that we could have all the social situations and feel like our body was able to release what it needed to release. I'm also a big fan of MetaPWR oil after the shower. So we had started, I felt like I was doing it with the Slim and Sassy oil back in the day, but I've had much better results with the MetaPWR oil. And so just places that, as I turned 50, I was like, oh, my knees don't look like they used to look. And my hips aren't what they were when I was 17, And so it was sweet to be able to dry off after a shower and just get that oil on. And I like it straight. Sometimes we've taken a whole bottle of fractionated coconut oil and just poured a MetaPWR oil into that, shake it up, and then use it from there. But oftentimes I'm just using it straight. As long as I'm dry, it's amazing.
That's a great, easy, convenient tip to add it to the coconut oil bottle. So you've got it. That's another great one for you, Andy. You wouldn't have to open 2 lids. You straight up.
That's right.
Love it.
Maximizer.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you for sharing those ideas of how you use the oil blend, and also just touching on, the travel and you're eating different foods to what you'd be eating at home. I guess it's hard for you to ask this next question, but did you notice MetaPWR changed your eating habits, or is it a bit tricky because you have such a active lifestyle with traveling?
So one thing, when we travel, it's tricky to bring all the ingredients to make our morning drink. And so we don't do intermittent fasting when we travel.
As
which
much.
which makes it that much trickier to, have good metabolic health. But I feel like with MetaPWR, it doesn't seem to matter.
And MetaPWR is so easy. We feel like we can take it anytime, anywhere. And for us, like, yeah, it always fits in. Like, we just got back from another month in Europe, and we had the collagen with us. And I like even just being able to take it right now. My favorite afternoon drink is the Recharge, which is a new ad. I like that in San Pellegrino in the afternoon for kind of a treat, right? To get all those electrolytes in and everything. But the MetaPWR I love with plain water, and I can take a regular water bottle, or we have a small little shaker bottle, and it'll always get just, you shake it up and you're good to go. It's simple.
It is so simple. So it's remarkable, isn't it, that you have such a great outcome when it's really such an easy, convenient, like you can take it with you, and just blows your mind. I'm looking forward to your traveler's guide to Italy and losing weight, to be honest. I think I can see that with a little booklet coming out soon.
Totally.
I wanted to ask you, because you're both taking MetaPWR, has it made any changes to your relationship?
I love that. That's a good question. I think when we feed our body what it truly deserves, so often, maybe we're making compromises in one form or another. But when we give it the high vibe that our body really deserves, then everything that flows out of us, body, mind, and spirit, right, can be a little more high vibe. So I love how we're both in this process. And even if you're not, you can take it in, and it will up level the way you can be in your relationships. I feel like, as I'm fed, then I can really nourish and nurture others like I want to, right? Show up more true to what I'm meant to be versus what the fallen me is, and that's been a gift to our relationship.
I've also noticed that since starting MetaPWR, we don't have jet lag, like a tenth of what it used to be.
Right.
Like it used to, wreck our patterns for days. And so with that, we're able to, keep serving, keep collaborating, communicating. Like, jet lag just kind of takes you out. It didn't for us in the past, but that hasn't been an issue. I feel like before MetaPWR, we used to rely a lot on, sweets and chocolates to stay up late and, burn the midnight oil. But I feel like since MetaPWR, our body just kind of knows, you know, we go to bed at a decent hour and we get up at a decent hour. Like I think before MetaPWR, we used to, I mean,
stay up later. We would eat chocolate in the afternoon. I think when your body isn't getting what it needs, it's seeking something else somewhere else, right? And so I just love the idea that when we meet that need, we don't have to find it in something else or push past what our body needs. We're just listening more and more. So I think just the pattern we got in of listening to our body and giving it what it needs through MetaPWR has helped us break through there. The other thing I would say is Andy's always been a runner. He's amazing, right? And I grew up on a ranch where we just worked every day. You didn't exercise to work. And so I love the mobility that Advantage gives me. Like I've had 7 babies, you know, and that's a lot for hips, and my knees are starting to feel things, right? And so the fact that I can feel renewed and like I'm 24 again in my hips and my knees, that's worth a lot. And it helps us be able to jog together. You know, he might run on his own. We jog if we're together. And that's been a gift to us too.
Andy, do you play pickleball? I know it's all the rage in the US.
I've played a few times, but I'm definitely not pro. I know that we've got some of our leaders there who are pro, and
Adish is a pro. I'm sure there's many others.
Oh, great. We'll be hearing from Adish next Monday, actually, on Let's Chat MetaPWR. So I'll ask him the pickleball questions. But it's great to hear that MetaPWR is motivating, you know, that healthy movement. And yeah, and mobility. I really liked how you picked up on that. You manage a big team. How many are in your doTERRA team now?
2.1 million.
It's a big team. How do you go with clarity, productivity? Have you noticed MetaPWR has improved in any sense with that?
Wow. Yeah. You know, I remember first learning about it, and I think some of the things that were written is like foggy thinking, you know, it can help with that. And I noticed that when that was the biggest issue for me was in the afternoons when I started to dip and my energy wasn't quite what it could be. And that really has shifted. I just don't feel like I have times of my day that I'm less effective in, so that I need to make sure and plan around that. You know, I can operate and show up whenever I'm needed, wherever I'm called, and that's a gift.
Well, Natalie, you're certainly looking 24 as well. So not only are you feeling it with your knees and your hips, but your skin complexion, you both have the MetaPWR glow. Do you get compliments and comments?
Thank you. I do. I actually, people, when we tell them, hey, we have 7 children, I'm 51, they're just like, you're what? Hit me again. Of course, Andy still looks 25. You know, he's never aged since we got married, pretty much. And so it's tricky sometimes being married to, you know, this young face. And he was so excited to like start getting some gray hair. And I was like, no, you just keep your youth. And so I'm so grateful for this tool that helps me hold on to it more and more, because when my body has what it needs, I emanate that.
One thing I've noticed too, we spent a lot of time in the sun on this last trip, and also in Thailand for a whole month. And we hardly got any sunburns. Did you notice that? After 11 days in the French Riviera and then a week in Greece, lots of time at the pool, lots of time at the beach. Neither of us got sunburned.
was crazy because we don't love sunscreen, and we're so excited that doTERRA now has a sunscreen line. So we brought, you know, all the parts, and we're prepared to use them all up and even have an extra. And we very rarely used it. And we were
That's
good.
amazing. Yeah, and you're looking so healthy. Can I ask, we'll wrap up in a moment, but what advice do you give to someone who's just starting or thinking about starting with MetaPWR?
Jump in,
Mhm.
you know, don't just dip your toes in. I feel like the system works best when you access
Mhm.
all the tools. I've heard from some people that if you had to choose just one, they would choose assist.
Mhm.
But I mean, I would just say take the leap.
Yeah.
You will not be disappointed.
And think about it as just 3 little things that can support your body in some big ways, right? So to me, the collagen, it's such a building block. And because it operates across the spectrum, you know, it's not just hair, skin, and nails, it's so much more than that. And that's powerful. In fact, my dad just broke a part of his hip, and my dad's 96. And what was the first thing I pulled out? Of course, I got some oils for him, but I took my MetaPWR Advantage down so that he can get that in and be healing, right? And we do the Advantage once a day. Sometimes there's times where we will double up and do it twice. And that's just periodically. I think we're mostly once a day people. We have leaders that do 2 at 3 p.m. or 2 at 5 p.m. or 2 at 8 or 9 a.m. Whatever you feel drawn to, pay attention to your body, and it will help you know what to do. But get that Advantage in, bring your assist to your meals, and then integrate the oil however you like best, right? We're super big gum fans after every meal. Now it's almost a pattern in our family. If we're out to eat or something like that, our kids, they'll have a dessert. Maybe we're traveling, and you know, it's Italy, and you got to have that gelato, right? So they've had the gelato, but as soon as they're done, they're aware of what's happening to their blood sugar levels, and they're like, "Mom, can I have a gum? Mom, can I have a beadlet?" And the gum is their go-to. So just use that oil to manage that blood sugar, and you can use that in conjunction with the assist, and you're set up for success. Keep it simple. I think the Advantage collagen in the morning fed and gave our body what it needed, so we weren't dipping in the afternoon. And as my body was kind of getting used to that, I used a little bit of peppermint and rosemary together just to help with that afternoon pick-me-up. But really, it was the Advantage. But I also believe that because we were using the assist with meals, you know, that's right after lunch, and I'm not dipping down. I'm not just crashing after a meal because I have that blood sugar support just to even out those spikes. And that's incredible. It's adding, you know, it's saving us those years that get added every time our blood sugar spikes. We're aging.
That leads into Sylvia asking if she can ask a question. Sylvia, do you want to unmute? And then Diane will come back to your question.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. Anna's chat. It's just been really wonderful. I've made a lot of little notes.
Awesome.
Hey, I just really want to be able to support my mum, who is not doTERRA anything, but is supportive of her daughter. But I want to be able to support my mum with her incredible low blood sugar levels. She's had the gastric bypass and the sleeve, and she has these almost insulin type drops. And I know everyone talks about the peaks and blood sugar spikes, but I was just wondering if anyone could dissolve a bit more on low blood sugars and helping. She sleeps terrible. She has these hypos sort of, or hypers, whatever the lingo is, when they drop down, and she's like, you know, all space cadet and things. And I just want to be able to have some testimonial stuff and some knowledge around that before I go in and go, Mum, I think this is needed for you.
Yeah. Wow. I'm so glad you asked that, because, you know, one of the things I love about the oils is that they're balancers, right?
Yeah.
So, a balancer meaning whether you're hypo or hyper, whether you're high or low, this is going to help balance those blood sugar levels. And so, you know, the oils come in and they work with your body to see what is needed, and then they will balance that out. So, you know, for your mom, the oil might be more pivotal for her, to bring that into balance. And, you know, she, because of how big she's filling it, that capsule with more oil in it might be the best delivery. And could she get that throughout the day, but then also have the gum and the beadlets there as a quick support, because that will bring those levels up to where they need to naturally be. And I don't have to understand it all to know that it's real and it works, and that balancing effect, that's what our body needs. And there's a better way, and MetaPWR can be a huge part of that better way.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for that.
So happy for you.
So beautiful.
Lots of love.
Thank you.
So we'll finish on one last question here from Diane, and that is, how important is it to partner the lifelong vitality vitamins and supplements with the MetaPWR, or do you think people will notice a difference with the MetaPWR system?
I don't know it without pairing it with lifelong vitality. And because of what we know about that foundational wellness, we know that we've got to have the vitamins and the minerals. We've got to have that absorption in, so our body has a baseline. And then that advantage can add to it, right? To feed muscle, bones, everything, be that building block. And then all the other products can support as well, because you have that baseline. So absolutely critical to bring in that lifelong vitality and make sure your body's getting the basics so that it can take in even more.
Thank you. Well, Natalie and Andy, you both embody love, kindness, and care. Thank you for answering those questions. Thank you for sharing your stories. We could listen all day. I'm sure there's so many tidbits we could catch up on. Thank you, everyone, for watching. This has been such a special interview. Thank you for your time.